Well, that's relatable content. Is that Post Malone? He sings? Celine Malone. Post Dion.
You know that huzzy with the good hair you sang about? Reminded me of someone I knew. Except
She said, don't fuck with me. Try it and find out. Clocked. Jolene found dead in Miami. Oh, Miley! Brava, bellissimo! We all know what happens to girlies who go after Beyonce's men. Not good things. Welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zach, I'm the Swiftologist, and I make thoughtful weekly videos, and today I am reacting to the second installment in Beyonce's Renaissance project, Cowboy Carter. I'm so excited. I haven't really got the chance to react to anything Beyonce since I've started my channel, so this will be my first Beyonce mention in a full-length video, and I couldn't be more excited to do it for this project. Renaissance was a truly, astonishingly accomplished, detailed, and intricate homage to ballroom culture and black gay men's influence on house music and dance music, and I just thought that it was an incredible artistic feat. And something I really respect and admire about Beyonce is the thought and care that she puts into all of her works. There truly is no one doing it like Beyonce, putting in the kind of conceptual effort and doing the groundwork, the legwork. She really is aiming for something higher than just releasing pop albums. So to that, I always have to give up my props for Beyonce. I will say that one thing that I think sometimes alienates me a little bit from Beyonce is that her work is so detailed and referential that sometimes I just don't get it on a first listen, and it has to be explained to me, and I have to understand what it's about before I can truly appreciate it. And there is certainly a time and a place for that, but sometimes you just want to hear something and go, ooh, I get exactly what this is trying to do. And luckily, the lead single from this record, Texas Hold'em, definitely did that for me. I think there's definitely a larger conversation to be had about modern day segregation in country music and the way that country music has been responding to Beyonce's influence. And I think that they haven't been responding very well, but I haven't been following this very closely at all because I have wanted to try and keep away from any Beyonce spoilers so that I can go into this as blind as possible. I haven't even looked at the track list. I did see that Miley Cyrus is on this, which is very interesting to me. If we're doing a country record, we're bringing Miley Cyrus on, of course. I mean, she's got the voice. And I do know that she has a Jolene mention. So that'll be interesting to see how she interpolates that. But otherwise, I'm so excited to get into this video, and the full unedited reaction will be available on my Patreon, patreon.com/Swiftologist. You can get all of my unfiltered reactions, unedited versions there. Up there right now is my Camila Cabello I Love It reaction. And let me tell you, that one has to stay behind the paywall. It really does. So forgive me if I miss anything on a first listen. Again, Beyonce creates very intricate and detailed work, and I am sure that my little pea brain is not going to catch up on everything that she is dropping and putting down here. And if you like these thoughtful, analytical discussions of pop culture, I have to recommend you my podcast, Evolution of a Snake, the Taylor Swift podcast, where we go through her career year by year. And I have to let you know that we have a show in London on June 20th, the day before the Eras tour, with a one-night-only performance of a deep dive into the Lover era, and you don't want to miss it. Tickets are going fast, so I will leave the link in the description, and you can go buy tickets now, and we will see you in June. So how do I feel about Beyonce generally? I love her. I've been a Beyonce fan since Destiny's Child. I found Survivor on one of those, now that's what I call music CDs, when I was a young kid. And ever since, I have just been so taken by her performance ability and the fierceness with which she conducts herself on stage. I've always loved watching her live performances. I got to see the I Am World Tour in Singapore. I also saw her at Global Citizen, I believe, in New York a while ago. And I saw the Formation Tour in Dublin, front row, which was one of the best concerts I have ever seen in my entire life. I've seen the Renaissance Tour film. I really am a stan when it comes to Beyonce concerts and performances. Do I connect to her music every single time she puts out a record? Probably not. I think that she is such a chameleon and is so versatile as an artist. Sometimes she does something that I'm just not that interested in. But I am interested in country music that isn't really country music, or country music that has been conducted by someone who is not deep in the moors of, I don't know, being married and wedded to this weird institution in the music industry. After all, I am a Swiftie, so I am interested in country pop. Of course, it's part of my DNA. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Let's start at the very beginning with We're in Church. Oh, and I'm happy to be there. Amen, station. This is a weird song. Was that Beyonce? I'm coming in peace and love, y'all. Not me. Can't relate. Beyonce is such an expressive vocalist. She can do so many different things with her voice. She's been like 4 different people on this song alone. I was talking about when I was going into reacting to this record, I think that Beyonce is so good at encapsulating a thesis or a thought or making a statement in her songs, but sometimes those songs aren't listenable to me. Like, I really profoundly felt the message of what she was trying to communicate here. And it is super interesting. If we go to the lyrics, she's talking about how it has been so difficult for her to be accepted like as a country artist, or not even as a country artist, but as someone who is capable of producing country music. And we all know that that is race-based. Like, let's not play around or beat around the bush here. The reason why country music doesn't want to accept Beyonce into the fold is because she's Black. It really seems to be the case. I think this verse here talking about, if this isn't country, then tell me what is really an indictment of country music, because country music gatekeepers are very quick to tell you what isn't country, but when you try and get them to defend what they have decided to be country, even when it veers into the territory of the stuff that they have decided is not country, they are unable to coherently justify their thought, meaning that it is probably prejudice that is guiding them into excluding certain types of people from creating country music or being accepted by the industry. So I think that that is a very interesting thing that Beyonce is discussing here. She's also talking about how they used to say I spoke too country, and then the rejection came and said I wasn't country enough. So I think that also is something interesting, her trying to break into like Hollywood and the like more cosmopolitan side of America, coming from the South as a young pop star. She has a claim to this regional kind of American music. It is definitely something that she clearly grew up around, loves, and was influenced by, and for people to gatekeep that from her is fucked up. So I'm happy to hear Beyonce taking her power back, but would I listen to this song? No, I would not listen to the song again. But it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. It's not bad. It's like an art piece. You know, you look at an art piece, you consider it for a while. It's unlikely you're going to return over and over, unless it's like the greatest art piece of all time. As a thesis statement, I think it really sets clear to us what this record is going to be. And this record is going to be Beyonce doing country, and you're not going to be able to tell her that it's not. So I'm seated. Up next is Blackbird, and this song is only 2 minutes long, so I wonder what it's going to be like. Oh my god, it's a cover of the Beatles song! This was my papa's favorite song. This is a beautiful song. Very interesting that this has made its way to Cowboy Carter. Is this Beyonce or someone else? Or are these the other people that are featured on it? Tanner Adele. Isn't Tanner Adele that TikTok star who does country music? I love her. I think these are all young Black women who are actively making country music. Wow. Okay, I really appreciate her picking this song to do that collaboration with. I think it's so wonderful that she is including like 4 young Black women who are really doing country music proper, not just like making an album or a statement out of it. They're actually country artists that I would presume have a very hard time being recognized by an institution that like refuses to claim them most of the time. Tanner Adele I know because I've seen her on TikTok, and she has some bops and bangers. And I remember when it was announced that Beyonce was doing a country album, a lot of people were pointing out all of these artists to her and saying, can we be uplifting them instead of just celebrating that you have the #1 as the first Black female country artist? So I think that's a really good response. If this was a response, maybe she was intending to do it anyway. Also, Blackbird is such a beautiful song about, you know, kind of waiting in the wings, being a little bit damaged, maybe feeling a little bit hurt, and kind of taking all of your power back and soaring off into a brighter future. And I think that Beyonce really seems to be trying to like pave a way and clear, like blaze a trail for Black women to be more widely accepted into mainstream country music, or to shine a spotlight on Black female country artists, which I love to see. So brava, Beyonce. Up next is 16 Carriages, which I've already listened to and I don't love. It's not bad, but I think that that is a case of Beyonce like taking a metaphor, this idea of like carriages being lugged and the career and what she's gone through as a child. Beyonce came from a pretty affluent family. She was not struggling. I think her family was not struggling when she was younger. So I had to suffer through the desert, etc. thing is not, it doesn't particularly resonate with me. So I'm going to skip 16 Carriages and go straight into Protector with Rumi Carter. Who is Rumi Carter? Is this her child? Rumi Carter is one of her children, is it not? Oh, we're doing country. She said, let me show you what country is. Oh, beautiful opening line. Tangled up in marigold. Okay, writer Beyonce. Okay, she's doing storytelling. She understands this is a big part of the genre. There is also this ode to natural world that you hear a lot in country music, which she's doing here. Talking about the August light, the marigold. I first saw your face in your father's gaze. A long line of hands carrying your name. Beautiful. Interesting. Okay, so definitely I can see Beyonce is committing to the bit here, right? So we've had 3 very intentional songs so far. We have the thesis statement, let me show you what country it is since you're telling me I can't do it. Who are you to say that I can't? Number 2 is I'm going to trailblaze and uplift the other girlies that are around me like it's our moment. We're going to enter into country music and we're going to take it back because it's ours. And then we have here, I think this is her kind of proving her country songwriting chops. I would be very curious to see what the writing credits on this song are. They say pending on Spotify right now, but you know, the idea of country that I think doesn't directly align with like who Beyonce is as an artist is that it is very much about oral tradition, storytelling, and songwriting. And Beyonce, as I've said many times, is an incredible curator, an impeccable editor, a chameleon. She has really great taste, but I would never say that she was a particularly strong songwriter. She's not a very personal songwriter either. We don't know a lot about Beyonce, the person. She is a bit hollow as a public figure, and that's not a dig at all. I'm just saying that she definitely keeps her intimate feelings private, and you kind of can't do that when you're doing country music. So I think this was definitely an attempt at kind of doing that oral tradition by like talking about her daughter and talking about her ancestry and how, you know, everything is connected in the natural world. I can see what's trying to be done here. The song didn't really land with me though. Like, it was sweet, but I'm not going to return. Up next is My Rose, which is 53 seconds. I'm presuming this is an interlude. Blowing Protector, I guess this is like a continuation of that. It's almost like a prayer, a chant. And the next track is called Smoke Hour with a Star and Willie Nelson. Interesting. I guess this kind of has the effect of giving a change the channel experience. We started in one place, and I see we're going into Texas Hold'em, so maybe we're going to start stomping the boots, doing a little line dancing. Bodyguard, Beyonce. This is explicit. So it's about to go crazy. It's about to go crazy. Ooh, sexy Beyonce. She's definitely setting the scene. We've been hurting, but it's happy hour? All right. They couldn't love me and they never will. Sometimes I take the day off just to turn you on. Okay, ma'am. This is a good old-fashioned I'm in love with you and let's do the birds and the bees country song. Riding shotgun mention 1. An important part of country. We all know what happens to girlies who go after Beyonce's men. Not good things. Well, yes. Be careful. I love the bass in this. It sounds like an actual, like, upright bass. Okay, Beyonce. Wow. This is probably my first replay. This is a song that I'm going to return to for sure. I love the build of it, and I think that it's really fun. It's kind of silly, but there is also kind of like a scary element to it as well, which I love. Sexy and seductive. I mean, this is good. This is what I came to the Beyonce country album for. Up next is an interlude called Dolly P. I wonder who that's about, and it leads straight into Jolene. I wonder if Beyonce's just going to cover that or if she's going to put her own spin on it. I'd love to see an additional verse added, to be honest. Why is this part giving Renaissance?
It's Dolly P.
Ah!
You know that hussy with the good hair you sang about? Reminded me of someone I knew. Except she has flaming locks of auburn.
That hussy you were singing about. Dolly! Now see, you got to get the national treasure in on your country song. You do. Country music cannot deny her if Dolly is on board. I like this arrangement too. It's funky. Oh, she's warning you. Okay, she's warning you. Oh, I think, is she changing the lyrics? They're very subtle changes. I love this. Especially given the lore and the context that we know with Lemonade. In Dolly's original version, she says, I can understand that you could easily take my man, but please don't. Beyonce's doing like the reverse. She's like, you are nothing, don't even try because I'm gonna eat you. And she's right. So Jolene went from a plea to a warning. Go and find your own man. So true. She said, don't fuck with me. Try it and find out. 1,000 girls in every room act as desperate as you two. Clocked. Jolene found dead in Miami. Okay, so the Carters are a united front propaganda is going to continue until the end of time. I mean, as it should. They're clearly happy together. They got over their hurdle. This song kind of acts like it didn't happen because everything she's warning Jolene not to do here was done already. And he got his ass beat for having that happen. But that was such an interesting rework of the song. I was really hoping that it was not going to be just a straight up cover, and I'm very pleased with the results of that. I think that the best cover of Jolene so far has been Miley Cyrus's version, but I like this new take on it, and I like that Dolly had a lead-in voice note to it as well. And country radio is stupid if they don't play this song. You're stupid. You're depriving your audience of literally what they want to hear. They want to hear this. Put it on the radio. Up next is Daughter. This song is 3 minutes long. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, she killed her. This is a classic country music. Goodbye, Earl. I'm gonna kill this bitch, or I'm gonna kill my man. Your arrogance disturbed my solitude. Taylor Swift? Heard of her? This is like a movie. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is great. Wow. Not opera-once. Andrea Bocelli-once. I don't know what's going on anymore. All I know is there's a body in the bathroom, and the attendant let her in, and she's wearing a really tiny dress. Wow, what a foreboding gem. Again, that's in the Goodbye Earl, No Body, No Crime, Before He Cheats, that very iconic female lexicon of country music. And it's interesting that she is bringing that in now. She's done kind of the like hallmarks of country music so far. And I can see that this record is paced and sequenced very intentionally. So now we're bringing in the female tradition of country music of wanting to kill not just a man, but the woman who tried to steal your man. I think that we are focusing a lot on the woman here. Where's the man? He should also be dead. But you know what? Great song. And I like that she kind of refers to it as being a fantasy in the end. And the way that the song like crescendos and plays out, you can kind of hear it. It has the cadence of a dream or like of a sequence of a fantasy. And that is very compelling to me. There is that interesting line about her father, Matthew Knowles' influence on Beyonce, her relationship to his kind of personality is, I think, one of the most interesting and like personal things we know about her. Daddy Lessons on Lemonade, that is a favorite song of mine of Beyonce's entire catalog. We're picking up here. We know that her dad is a pretty brutal guy. He's got a reputation for being kind of nasty, and she usually takes pride in not being like him, but on this occasion, with the dead body black and blue in the bathroom and the attendant slipped a $50 bill, she said, I'm just like my dad. Up next is Spaghetti.
Genres are a funny little concept, aren't they?
Okay, so Linda Martell, I'm going to assume a female country artist from back in the day. This is giving the flawless monologue.
They call me the captain, the catwalk assassin. When they know what's slapping, then here comes
The catwalk assassin. Oh, absolutely.
cunty country, petty.
Cunty country. That's exactly what she's doing. See, I knew she was doing something special here. Linda Martell is the first commercially successful black female country music singer. She is 82 years old now. Of course, Beyonce is going to do her homework. She's going to cite her references. She's going to tell you how she arrived at her thesis by showing you the people that influenced her along the way and paying homage and respect to them. So mad props to Beyonce for doing this. I think it's very interesting that after these like three very country-esque, female country-esque songs, Bodyguard, Jolene, and Daughter, we go into this. I mean, it's a song. It's not an interlude, but it functions as an interlude to me. I think it's a bridge between whatever's going to come next. Raising the question of what a genre is and how do people fit into it and do they feel confined by it is a very interesting thing to bring up at this juncture on the record. She kind of hints at this on the opening track, but it's definitely made more explicit here. And the specific thing that is said by Linda Martell is that people can feel confined by genre. And then Beyonce really like kind of goes straight into something that's a little bit more traditional, like hip hop, rap oriented. She's making the point that she doesn't have to just do one thing because she is a multifaceted artist who is capable of many, many layers of excellence. And I like that point to be made here. I love it. I think also genres are more porous than we would like to admit. And country music is one of those genres that really gatekeeps in a way that others don't and can't. And I don't really understand how they're still allowed to get away with it. I need to figure that out and do a little bit more of a deep dive, because it's not just Beyonce that they exile, or black people in general that they try and exile from music. I think any sort of like progressive artist or like a liberal artist struggles to be accepted by mainstream country. Maren Morris, I know, has had her issues. Casey Musgraves has her issues, so much so that they're pushed out of the genre entirely. So it is kind of like badass that Beyonce is like firmly planting her heels in and being like, I'm here. You're not going to run me over and you're not going to scare me away. They tried to with the whole, if you're not familiar, when Beyonce performed Daddy Lessons from her song Lemonade at the CMAs, I think in 2016 or 17, with the Chicks, who are an iconic country girl group who I love. When she performed with them, there was a absurd racist backlash against her performing there, saying that she didn't deserve to be there, she's not a country artist, etc., etc. And I think that that definitely, I would imagine, was an impetus for Beyonce to be like, hang on, who are you to say what country music is or isn't? Let me show you what I think it is. And that's where we are. So let's listen to Alligator Tears. Oh, we got the boots on. Ooh, this is like a devotional song. Not change religions, not give up God for a man. Okay, so alligator tears typically are like people who are fake crying, but you're falling for it. You're changing your religion for the alligator tears, girl. I'm getting a very swampy vibe from the atmospheric construction here, which is interesting. Smoke Hour 2, this is another Willie Nelson interlude, and then we go into Just for Fun with Beyonce and Willie Jones. Everywhere I go, they know my name. That's another part of country music that we haven't explored that much as of yet, apart from the opening track. I would imagine that would be something Beyonce would be very... That was pretty, but I don't think it was particularly interesting. It was a little repetitive lyrically. I don't really understand what the point of it was, nor how Smoke Hour introduces it. I guess I'm just gonna have to listen to the next couple of songs and see if they make sense together. Up next is the Miley Cyrus collab. Now I'm excited about that. Most Wanted. 2 Most Wanted? Let's do it. Let's let Miley sing. Miley needs to do a country album. When's that happening? We've got Lana on the cowboy mic soon. No jump in the gun, but we're both still young. I'll be your shotgun rider. Oh, pretty. Oh, amen. Ooh, and Miley's voice has become so lush and deep and rich. Miley doesn't get enough credit for what an incredible vocalist she is. Beyonce, thank you for sharing that with us again. I like how Beyonce is showing off her upper register. Oh, Miley! Brava, bellissimo! Very pretty. Wow, that also is one of my favorite tracks from this record. Beyonce, again, has such good taste. As a curator, she knows who to bring in, when to bring in, and how to make use of their talents. And I have to respect that. Speaking of talents, we have Post Malone up next. Well, all right then. Levi's jeans. I'm going to guess that this is a bop. Because what else is Post Malone doing here? Oh, okay. Well, yes. This is fun. This is fun. What is Post Malone going to offer here? I'm interested. Is that Post Malone? He sings? I thought he was a rapper. He sounds kind of good. Okay, this gives me hope for Fortnite. I'm trying to imagine them performing this together, and I really cannot conjure an image. Is Post Malone like a... Does he do country? Is he like from the South? Post Malone! Celine Malone, Post Dion. Very cute. The collaborations on this record are good, and they're substantial too. It's not just like a line here and there. Interesting. Flamenco. This is 1 minute and 40 seconds. One thing Beyonce is always going to do is sing. Now we're bringing it back to one of the themes of the album, genre confinement.
This particular tune stretches across a range of genres.
Oh, okay. I feel like I'm about to go on a ride.
We want to welcome you to the Beyonce COWBOY CARTER Act 2.
I would like to be welcomed. Hello? Heavy metal? She said, I'm going to do every genre in the world in one song and you're going to like it. Kind of giving Motown a little bit. This is kind of like swing a little bit.
I just want to shake my ass.
Well, that's relatable content. Well, all right then. That was an interesting little number. Is it something I'm going to return to? No, but I think that this would be very fun live. She's going to kill this performance whenever she performs it. Up next, 2 shorter numbers. Oh, Louisiana. I'm guessing this is an ode to Louisiana, and then Desert Eagle. There are too many interludes and 1 minute songs. What? The heebie-jeebies. I'm scared of birds. Is that a sex position? This is very standard Beyonce fare. I'm sexy, I'm hot, come get it. Okay, again, this is where I think that some pruning could have been done. Did we need this and Oh Louisiana when we're at song 22 in the record? I don't think so. But this is her story. It's her journey. I'm just a passenger. Up next is Riverdance. Are we going to get an ode to Ireland? I would love to see it as an Irish person. It's interesting. This chanting is definitely kind of incongruent with the instrumental. But that's the point, I suppose. Well, okay then. All right then. Oh, well, thank God about that. Okay. See, now this is the kind of Beyonce country song I was like really hoping for. Genres could be confining. Well, okay. I mean, I liked that. I will be returning to this one for sure. I think it was missing kind of that payoff to me, but I think there actually is a payoff there. I just need to re-listen to it one more time. But I liked it. Up next, Two Hands to Heaven. This is very atmospheric. It's like movie-esque. I don't really know what this is about. It's very like vibe-oriented, but is there a substance to it? Oh, well, yes. It's giving Jason Derulo. Talk dirty to me. This is fun. I like this one. So true. That falsetto. Thank you, mother. Well, okay. That concludes my first listen of Cowboy Carter. And what do I think of it? You know, this is an interesting one because it has not gripped me the way that Renaissance gripped me the first time that I heard it. And I think that's simply because the music isn't as in your face. It's a different style. We're in different areas. What I will say is that when your album is an hour and 16 minutes in this day and age, you're demanding a lot from the listener. And I think that there are a couple of moments on this record that drag a bit. And there are a couple of songs that are a little bit repetitive. I don't feel the need for all of those like 1 minute, 2 minute songs. The interludes I understand, and a lot of them have a very unique purpose on this record. So overall, I would say that this is a good album, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, I need to learn more about it. I need to read what the references are, understand how the project fits into her 3-act Renaissance. This, I think, will only really be fully appreciated in hindsight when we have the 3 projects. And Beyonce's always aiming for something higher. I think our immediate interpretation is not always clear because her goal is kind of beyond this moment. So I think I'll take some time with this record for sure before I can like deliver an assessment of what I think about it. But off the top, I mean, what I really like about Beyonce that she always does on her records is she kind of probes and interrogates our preconceived notions of her. And I think she definitely kind of rattles the bars a little bit here. She's talking about genre, how that can be very confining, specifically how that can be very confining for Black women, and exploring that by really delving fully into all the facets of country music that are animating to her. I can see a lot of different inspiration going on here, and you can tell that she did her homework and looked into the genre and took the parts of the genre that were interesting to her and brought on the appropriate people to collaborate with. And I think the collaborations generally actually are some of the most successful moments on this record, and I'm excited to see how everybody else is responding to it. What did you like about it? What was your favorite song? Are there any notes that you have? How does this compare to the first act of Renaissance in your opinion? Let me know. And remember, everyone, this is, all good fun. I'm just reacting to an album. This is not, the end of the world. If I don't like something that you don't like, you will live to see another day. And don't forget to get tickets to Evolution of a Snake Live in London. Okay, make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.